right, so let's get back to the ngIf one. So now on ngIf, when you click on one of these, we want it to be, we want to show something different. How about what we do is, actually, let's come back to that one again. Let's do the last one. That one's still so trivial. So the last one is add inputs to the directive to allow it to receive ID. Let's do that. So we'll come back in here. Inputs. Actually, let's do it the other way this time so you can kind of see how that works. Inputs, and then we'll just call it, we can't call it ID because that's already taken. So we'll call it widget or position, whatever. So that'll take the position, and then here is this string. So we still have it. But what if this input was changed from the outside? How did this directive react to it? You know, like in Angular 1, you would use like scope.watch. So like, what's the equivalent here? Anybody know? No? You might want to guess. We didn't really talk about it. Setters and getters. So we can override the setters and getters of this property. So we can say when position is set, we want this thing to happen. So when this thing is set, or what's the syntax for it? Hold on. Set position. Thought it was brackets.
And is it say property position or something?
No. Let's look.
Get column.
Yep. So it's set, and then, yeah, it is. I was right. I don't know why the error, this thing's just messing up. So it is like this. Why is it error now? Let's have exactly one parameter. Oh, saying I need a parameter here, that's all. I'm like, why is it freaking out? All right, so yeah. So when we set this, now every time the input is changed from outside of this directive, this function here will be ran. So we can do things like, for instance, you know, based on the position of these components, we could have like these components go through like a color scale or something like that based on the position, something like that. So just different types of things we can do. But that's how you would respond to this thing being updated. It's just overriding the setters and getters of the property that's being input. In this case, the input is position. If you wanted to do this inline with a directive, then you would just do it this way. It's still the same way. I mean, with the decorator, you would still do it like this. Or like.
You need to import.
Oh yeah, that's why it's freaking out. Thank you. Stop. There we go. So you would still do it the same way. And this will just override it. So we'll just do that. And we'll just go back to, I had a position, and we'll just keep it static. And then now, here, we're able to pass in a position. But we can also just, like we did on the last example, is just take advantage of this highlight property that's really not doing anything. Maybe we can pass in a color here and actually like do the color. It's whatever you want. But for the example, we had position, and it was like this. And then we passed in the widget dot ID.
So if you had two directives that both took in an input of POS, would they both pick it up?
Say it again.
If you had multiple directives on the same element that took in similarly named parameters, So if you had two that took a POS parameter, they would both pick that up. I
There would be a
assume.
name collision there, yeah. I'm guessing they would both pick them up. They would both pick up the same thing, yeah. I think they would just handle it that way. I don't think it would error out. Good question, though. Any other questions on this? Okay. Still trying to think of a good use case for ngIf here, because I mean this thing is like already showing. If you did something there, good job, but I can't really think of a good use case to put an ngIf here. I mean I could see an ng class or something like that, but not an ngIf. Like I don't know what if I would do. It's already ifing over here on the right, so. So yeah, those are directives. Pretty simple to get started with, but I would say the structural directives and some of like the internal observable stuff are probably some of the toughest stuff in Angular 2, I would say. They can get really, really crazy. And if you want to see, for example, like just go look at the docs and go look at some of the structural directives they built and kind of see what's going on in there, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just like, a scientist built this, for sure. So highly recommend checking out though. Learn a lot by looking at that stuff.